Hello, my fellow whelp lovers. Okay, I don't know how else to start this other than, what is happening? We're actually getting another free 5-star, another one, and it's Dan Heng SP2. Like, are you kidding me? When I first saw the leaks and posts start flying around about this, I thought people were messing with us. I thought this was one of those classic fake hype cycles the community builds up only to get a free 4-star and some relic trash from the inbox. But nope. Nope. This is real. This is canon. This is Dan Heng, beloved Cloud Knight-turned-Dragon Boy, now in preservation mode, dropping into our accounts for free in version 3.6. Let's talk about what this means because, honestly, this isn't just another giveaway. It changes everything. Topping up in Genshin or Star Rail can get expensive, and let's be honest, we've all seen those in-game prices and wished they were just a bit lower. Well, that's exactly what LD Shop is here for. This is LD Shop, the official top-up platform developed by the LD Player Emulator Group. It lets you top up your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Star Rail at huge discounts, up to 23% off or more. And yeah, it's super easy to use. All you need is your server and UID, and your top-up will show up in-game within just a few minutes. It's safe, reliable, and used by thousands of players. You can even compare prices, for example, something like the Supply Pass or a 6480 Stellar Jade Bundle. It's way cheaper here than in-game. If you register using my link, you'll get a 15% off coupon and an extra 5% off coupon, which can save you up to $50 on your first top-ups. Plus, LD Shop gives you the same first top-up bonus you get in-game, so you're not missing out on anything. And if you're planning to spend more, here's a bonus. If you spend over $80, you'll unlock VIP status, which gives you a free supply pass and more perks. So if you're looking to save while still getting everything you normally would in-game, just use the link in the description and get Feign on while saving more. First of all, yes, if you've been following the storyline through Amphireus, then you know Dan Heng's arc has been building to something massive. And it makes so much sense for Hoyoverse to cap off this chapter with a new form of him. But the wild part? He's not locked behind a banner. He's not tucked into some light cone shop or some insane RNG event. He's straight up, zero cost, 5-star Shielder Dan Heng, aka Dan Heng Terravox, granted to us for free. As in, your account, your mailbox, bam, new preservation unit. Now let me just say, this was not what most of us were expecting. When the devs teased a second free 5-star after Archer back in the 3.4 stream, speculation went absolutely wild. Everyone and their imaginary Trailblazer friend was pointing fingers at March 7th SP. And I totally get it. She was getting a new version in 3.6, her kit was all about summons and remembrance shenanigans, and we all saw the perfect bait setup. March SP free, but to make her truly shine, you'd need Cyrene from 3.7. Classic Hoyoverse strategy, right? Give you one half of the puzzle for free, and then make you sweat bullets pulling the rest. But nope, they threw us a curveball. DK2, the Gigaleaker with a pretty solid track record, especially over in the Genshin community, dropped the bombshell that this second free 5-star isn't March at all. It's Dan Heng SP2. And I'm losing my mind over how clever this move is. This isn't just about fan service, though let's be honest, it's a little about fan service. Dan Heng is one of the most beloved characters in Honkai Star Rail, especially in the Chinese community, and giving away such a high-value, lore-heavy, central figure for free? That's not a cheap move. That's a calculated strike. And let me tell you, it's got layers. Because look, if you're wondering, okay, but is he good though? The answer is, yes, this isn't just a shiny gift character meant to rot in your inventory. Terravox is actually designed to be useful from the get-go. He's not like March SP, who looks awesome on paper but needs an entire support package built around her to reach her full potential. Nope. This version of Dan Heng is a plug-and-play dream. He gives shields. He synergizes with summons. He brings serious survivability to your team without being chained to niche mechanics or obscure synergies. And guys, he summons a dragon. He's not even pretending to be subtle anymore. Our guy is the dragon in his inhibitor Luni form, and now he's summoning a new dragon in this third form. The full Mono Dan Heng team dream is getting realer and realer by the minute. If they give us a Harmony Dan Heng someday, it's over. But beyond the fan service, let's talk about balance. This is a preservation unit. It's sustain, and this is something new players are desperately struggling with right now. You can't get Luocha anymore if you start after 3.4. Gallagher is still locked behind RNG. And there's just not enough sustain floating around for fresh accounts. You can't tell new players to just roll for Fu Xian if her banner isn't up, and relying only on one May's meta presence doesn't solve their team comp problems. Giving away a free sustained character, especially one that isn't limited time but rather a permanent unlock through story, that's not just generous. That's smart. It addresses one of the biggest early game pain points in the entire game. And for Hoyoverse, it also encourages deeper story engagement because, let's be real, if you need to unlock Dan Heng SP through progression, players are going to push through Amphireus like their lives depend on it. But we all know the real money is in the Eidolons. That's the play. Hoyoverse isn't going to lose revenue by giving away Dan Heng for free. If anything, this increases the odds of people pulling on his future reruns. Just look at Dr. Ratio. Everyone thought he was busted at E0, and he is, but once his rerun dropped, the hype over his E1 and E2 Eidolons exploded. Lower cooldowns, improved uptime, bonus mechanics. So imagine what Terravox's Eidolons could bring. Maybe E1 makes his shield scale harder. E2 could buff his dragon summon or reduce cooldowns. And you know E6 is going to be some wild, full team buffing late game mechanic that turns him from solid tank into meta-defining core unit. They're banking on that rerun revenue. And here's another spicy theory. This isn't just about 3.6. This is setting up something much bigger. We're hitting the tail end of Amphireus, and with 8 patches deep in this arc, it's basically the size of 2 planets. Having 2 free 5 stars in this stretch, Archer and now Terravox, isn't just generosity, it's a signal. They're preparing us for higher demand endgame content. Think Memory of Chaos with 3 teams. Think expanded simulated universe. Think high-difficulty co-op trial runs. You can't roll out content like that without giving players a few extra tools to survive it. And Dan Heng SP is the perfect choice to do that. He doesn't break the meta. He doesn't power creep the latest sustain units. But he does provide a reliable, flexible, high-value option that makes people stick around. Especially if you're saving for Cyrene, this freebie lets you build a tanky squad and stash your Jades in peace. And let's be real, just because he's free doesn't mean you can't build him seriously. With the right relics and light cone, Terravox Dan Heng could easily become your go-to sustain in high-difficulty content. He's not just filler, he's a legit long-term investment. Personally, I'm absolutely thrilled. This lets me ignore sustain banners for a bit, focus on pulling for March SP because I need to see what Medusa does with Cyrene and start thinking about whether I want to chase Terravox Eidolons down the line. Honestly, if he ends up with an exclusive light cone that turns his shields into nukes, I might just cave. But what do you all think? Were you Team March SP for the freebie? Are you riding the hype train for Preservation Dan Heng? Or are you just here to complete your Mana Dan Heng dream comp like a true believer? Either way, let me know in the comments, because I guarantee we're about to see some wild takes once 3.6 officially drops and people realize just how cracked this move is. See you all in the next patch, and don't forget to hug your whelp body pillows. Peace out, legends.